Hi, I'm Alex Wolf with Spielcraft Games, and I'm here to show you the Cretaceous Rails solo mode. I'll be playing with Cybersaur Excursions as my opponent, and Cybersaur is run by this deck of cards, and it just will tell me what Cybersaur does on each of its turns. First things first, we will select our home hexes. The board is already set up for a two-player game. Solo mode and two-player have the same setup. And I get to choose my home hex first. So I'll lay 2 rails from my home hex. And I'm choosing this one because it has access to a purple tourist, and this hex doesn't. There are some other considerations that I might make, like if I wanted to be closer to a Triceratops, I might take this one instead. But then Cybersaur will choose the next available hex, and keep in mind that in a 1 or 2 player game, only these 2 middle home hexes are used. Cybersaur will always build its second rail toward the human player. Okay, and that's that, so we can go ahead and get started. Cybersaur will take the first turn, and you just draw one of these cards, and it tells you where to place the Cybersaur's executive. It tells you if there are any action multipliers this turn, and it tells you a direction and a position in this resort display. But I'll explain those when they come up. So first things first, I accidentally was fooling around with this and left those on there. First things first, we will place an executive right here. And Cybersaur will always take the top action first or the left action first, depending on whether the executive is on a horizontal or vertical line. So Cybersaur takes the Safari action first, and first checks its preference tokens. So these are set up randomly at the beginning of the game in this order, and Cybersaur right now prefers blue. So Cybersaur is going to take a blue tourist from adjacent to its train. Right now this is the only option, and place it on the blue conveyor belt, which is the conveyor belt that's going to take this tourist to see a Parasaurolophus inside the Cybersaur resort. Of course, they don't have any yet, so this tourist will be disappointed if Cybersaur doesn't capture a Parasaurolophus by the end of the game. But then this is going to move. So now the Parasaurolophus is going to prefer red dinosaurs and tourists. But this is a double action, so the Cybersaur will take another Safari, this time red, and then move these again. And then the Cybersaur will also take the draw cards action. And since this top left card is shown right here, it's going to take a card from the top left and another card from the top left. And I almost forgot that we each actually start with 1 card from the top of the deck. So I'll take those now. Okay, so that is the Cybersaur's turn. Took 2 tourists on Safari, took 2 cards. So now on my turn, I will just place my hand right up here. I'll place it off screen actually. On my turn, I'm going to take a double rails action. It's lucky that those showed up and that Cybersaur didn't take it. So I'll try to go out here and grab or get access to a volcano. Volcanoes are good because when you go on Safari, each volcano counts as whatever dinosaur you're looking for and helps increase that dinosaur's rating. So that's my action, and Cybersaur's next turn, Cybersaur draws this card, and you'll notice that it has a red multiplier. So there are different difficulty levels, and red indicates expert level. I'm actually just going to play on hard mode today instead of expert, so I'm not going to pay attention to the red multipliers, but I'll just place an executive right here. Take this card right here from the bottom right corner, and then lay 2 rails. And there's a left arrow on this Cybersaur card, and so Cybersaur is going to go to the left if there are 2 hexes that it could go to. It's always going to go to a hex that is occupied by dinosaurs, tourists, and jungle tokens, or volcanoes, rather than going to an empty hex or the edge of the board. But in this case, it could go right or left to an occupied hex, and this time it's going to go to the left because of this arrow here. I'd like to mention now that these components are prototype components, so the mass production components are going to be nicer than these. These ones I cut by hand, so they don't have nice rounded corners. But anyway, moving on. So that's the lay rails action, and then it's back to my turn. Okay. On my turn, I want to cut 2 jungle tokens, but that's not going to happen because there aren't 2 jungle tokens next to each other. I also have this card that I had from the beginning of the game that requires a T-Rex to play, and it allows me to unload my train for free whenever I take a dinosaur off the map, or whenever I take the capture dinosaur action, rather. I want to play that, so I think I want to capture this T-Rex here. I'm going to go ahead and capture or take this jungle token and take a T-Rex. And that's my turn. And on Cybersaur's turn, he's going to play right here. I didn't mention this during the last Cybersaur turn, but for draw cards and build card actions, Cybersaur just draws cards. And then Cybersaur is not going to build a tableau like a human player would. Instead, Cybersaur just collects cards and then they score at the end of the game. But the multipliers that are printed on the Cybersaur cards take the place of the extra bonuses from tableau building if they were to build a tableau. So anyway, I will take the card from right here. And you never know what card the Cybersaur is going to take, so if you see a card out in the display and you want it, you should take it soon because you never know when the Cybersaur might take it. The next action is going to be to build rails. And they're favoring the left again. So this time, they could build out here or could build out here, but since it favors the left, we'll go out here. And he's not going to go left again because he doesn't want to point to an empty space, so he'll go right. Okay, and then on my next turn, I will, well, I'm going to unload my train, skipping the safari action. And then I'm going to take a jungle token from right here. And that's my turn. And then on Cybersaur's turn, Cybersaur will take a double action on the left side that they'll place right here. And first take 2 safari actions. Okay, so first off, Cybersaur prefers green. So he's going to take a green tourist. And Cybersaur always takes from the cabin before it takes from the home hex. That's important because cabins never refill. So Cybersaur wants to take that before I take it. But home hex tourists are always safe. Your opponents can never take those. So he'll take one of those. And then purple's the next one. And he's going to take this purple one that I wanted. He gets to take 2 because it's a double action right here. And then the next action is going to be draw cards, and he's going to take this one. Okay. On my last turn, I want to fill up this train card, because at the end of the round, which is after this turn, I'm going to be able to unload my train for free, and I want to take advantage of that. I also want to draw cards, I think. I want to be able to extend my train, so I want this card. To give me another train car. Let's see. Well, I suppose I'll just take a draw cards and capture dinosaur. Okay, so I'll capture, well, first I'll draw this card. I'll take the draw cards action first. That'll give me another train car, and then I will also take this card that lets me play on an occupied action space out here. That is after I build it. Then I will capture a dinosaur, and I'm going to capture this blue one. I don't want to take the purple ones yet. Well, yeah, I don't want to take the purple ones because I want to take a big safari with this purple tourist and pump up the rating. Because I already have a purple dinosaur, so pumping up that rating will be worth a lot to me. Well, then the round ends, and I unload my train for free. Cybersaur doesn't have a train. Everything just goes directly onto their player board. It just takes one thing out of the managing the AI. It makes it a little bit easier to manage. At the end of the round, we take back all of our executives and then clear these cards. And of course, I forgot to set up the round marker, so I'm just not going to use that, I guess. But there is a round marker that would track what round we're on, but that was the end of the first round. These all get shuffled so that we have new action pairs. Okay. And this is the first player marker. Since no one took it, the Cybersaur is going to maintain their status as the first player. All right, this goes back. We draw 8 new cards, and then Cybersaur is going to take another turn. Oops. Okay, so Cybersaur draws a card. Oh, and it's 2 double actions. That's not going to be good for me. Okay, so that's 4 rails, building to the right. So 1, 2, and Cybersaur is not going to build to the right now because he's already touching this hex, so that would be a waste of a rail. So build out there, and then to the right again. Okay, and then take 2 cards, take this one, and take this one again. Okay, and then for me, well, I want to take a safari, and I want to capture one of those dinosaurs. I think those are in danger of being taken by the Cybersaur. Cybersaur should have changed the preference, actually. So it is their lowest preference dinosaur right now. So, but it is the only type available if he gets a capture dinosaur action. So I am going to take, luckily I have this pair, that's great. I'll take a safari, and I see 2 titanosaurs and a volcano, so I move this up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll take one of these titanosaurs. And that's me. Okay, and this time Cybersaur goes here and takes 1 double action. So that's 4 rails again. And this time off to the right again. I'm not going to the right here because that's a blank space. But he'll go right here. And wow, he's really built out there. And then he does take a dinosaur, and he'll go through the preferences, but he only has one option, which is the purple dinosaur here, so he's going to take this. Okay, and then it's my turn, and I want to play these cards, but I think I only want to play one of them right now so that I can get this one on a higher level. And yeah, it's a perfect card to play because it gives me another train car. So yes, I will. I'll play this. paying 1 jungle token, which lets me add a train car. When I use the action, it costs me, I'll show you the card here, it costs 2 ratings because it's on level 1. So I have to move back 1 rating star 2 places, or 2 rating stars 1 place each. I don't have a green dinosaur, so I want to use that rating first. And then all the other dinosaurs are good for me. But yeah, I'll move blue down because I think I'll have more opportunities to get blue back up, it looks like, just from the random assortment of tourists. There's only 1 purple tourist left, and there are a lot more blue ones. Okay, so that frees up a train so that I can actually capture another dinosaur or take another jungle token or tourist off the board next turn. But I'm going to lay rails right now, and I'm going to lay them, you know, after saying that about the blue dinosaurs and the blue tourists, I'm going to try to get some blue dinosaurs, since I think I can get their rating up. So I'm going to lay those rails, and then it's Cybersaur's turn. Cybersaur will place right here, and he's going to capture a dinosaur as his first action. But are there any dinosaurs available? The reason they're not available is because you can't capture a dinosaur if it has a jungle token on its hex, because there's just too much brush, so you can't get in there to get your dino capturing equipment in there. Okay, so we go down the list. We go down from capture dinosaur to clear jungle. Whenever the Cybersaur clears jungle, it always clears from the row closest to home, if it can. And it, of course, has to follow the rule that everything has to be adjacent to its train. So it's going to take this jungle token because it's the only one in this row. If there was a tie, it would choose the rightmost one because of the arrow here. But now it's going to do a safari action. And these are the 4 tourists that can be taken. Blue is the preference right now, so it's going to take blue. Of course, that's bad luck for me, after my strategy that I just proposed. But it's going to take this and put it on the conveyor belt. And one of the other ways that the Cybersaur is simplified is you don't actually have to count up the dinosaurs and the volcanoes when the Cybersaur takes a tourist. It's just going to go on this conveyor belt and then increase the rating of that dinosaur type. So the Cybersaur doesn't get to think as much as a human, so it gets a little easier brute force method. Okay, so that is that action, and for me, I want to play a card and take a dinosaur. And the reason I want to play this card first is because I have what it takes to play it, a T-Rex and a jungle token, and this card lets me unload my train when I capture a dinosaur. So I'm going to capture a dinosaur right now. Of course, I didn't really plan this out well enough. I'm going to do a little takesies backsies, privilege of solo play, and I'm going to take a jungle token instead. So I'll take this jungle token. I really would have liked to capture a dinosaur there and unload my train. That would have been cool. Okay. Then the Cybersaur Excursions will place an executive up here, taking the first player marker again for the 3rd round. And then take a safari action. And a safari is going to take a red one first, increasing red's value, and then they'll also take a card, and it'll be from the bottom left corner here. Oops. I'm like very confused for some reason. Okay, then on my last turn, I will, well, man, I should unload my train. Or maybe I'll just take this action because I get a free unload at the end of the round. Don't want to waste it. Okay, so I'll go out here. 1, 2. That'll get me access to some more tourism. And 3, 4. All right. And that's the end of the round. So I unload my train. And then everything comes back. And one of the important reasons why you have to unload your train is because when you're playing resort cards, you can't spend things directly from your train. They have to be back on your resort board before you can spend them. And the other reason is just that you can only hold one thing per train car. So if it fills up, you can no longer capture dinosaurs, take tourists on safari, or clear jungle. And so we're going into round 3. It is one half of the game behind us. Okay. And Cybersaur is going first again because it keeps getting that first player marker. Okay, so round 3 is beginning, and Cybersaur will take 2 double actions. That's not good. Okay, so that's 4 rails, and it's building to the right. Well, it's just going to go around the edge then here. Because it never wants to go to the edge of the board where there's nothing to be adjacent to. And then take a safari. Okay, well, he's going to take a green one because that's the only one available. And then he's going to take another green one. Okay, and Cybersaur needs to start capturing some dinosaurs if he wants to make those safaris worth anything. Okay. Ooh, I want that card. So I'm going to take it. And I'm going to take the first player marker for next round. Yeah, that's going to be nice. I'll take this first player marker. I'll take this card. I also... Oh, this will be nice. Getting to draw... Oh, capture dinosaurs without having to clear the jungle. That's a nice card. And I will be able to play it right away because I have the resources already. So those are the cards I'm taking. I'll also clear a jungle token. I'll clear it off this one. That's a tough choice. I want to clear it off this one so I can safari it, but then it'll also open that up for the Cybersaur to take. And Cybersaur really wants Parasaurolophus right now, so I'll take this one instead. Okay, and then on Cybersaur's turn, 2 double actions. I am going to do the blue double actions because I'm playing hard mode. On normal mode, you would only play with the black double actions, and in easy mode, you wouldn't play with any of the double actions. Okay, so here we go. Taking 2 cards, taking this one, which would have been nice for me, actually. It lets you increase the ratings of purple dinosaurs, and then also going to take this one, which would increase the ratings of blue dinosaurs. Both of those would have been nice. And then take 2 lay rails actions. So just really getting around the board. Going left this time, but really doesn't want to go left here because he's already touching that. So really making his way around, getting everywhere. And then you're going to backtrack to the next place where Cybersaur can actually get to a hex that he's not already adjacent to. So We'll go right there. Then it is my turn. Okay, so I want to play both of these cards, but I can only play one card on level 3. I want this on level 3. I'm also going to want more train cards so that I can actually take advantage of this. I can't really take advantage. You know what? I'll just play it on level 1. Because I can't really take advantage of capturing 4 dinosaurs when I only have 3 train cars. And I don't know when another train car is going to come up. So I will... Oh, and both build actions are in the corner. Well, I guess I'll build and safari. I'll play all 3 of these. This can take any dinosaur. Okay, and now I can take dinosaurs from spaces with jungle hexes. And I can also take an extra dinosaur, and once per round, I can take an occupied space out on the action grid. So that's pretty nice. And then I'm going to take a... I guess I'll take this jungle token. All right, and then it's Cybersaur's turn. Cybersaur goes right here, captures a dinosaur, and does 2 cards. Okay, so capture dinosaur. He's going to want a blue one. Can't take this blue one. I'm glad I didn't take that jungle token off. So next in line is red. But actually, green is the only one that he's going to be able to take. So I'll take this one. And these slide down. And then he takes 2 cards. And it'll be from the top left. Okay. And then on my turn, well, I'm going to capture a bunch of dinosaurs. Okay, so I get to capture 2 dinosaurs each time. I only have 1 place on my train right now. So I'm going to capture 1, and then I'm going to unload by paying 2 ratings with the, 1 rating with this card here. So I will pay a T-Rex rating. And then I'll capture 2 more dinosaurs with my next action. And I don't care if they're in jungle, so I'll capture a T-Rex. And I guess I'll capture this guy. I'll capture this guy since he's adjacent to white. And then I will unload my train. I'm going to pay another rating. It's kind of a risk, but it'll open my train for the next action. Which I think will be good. So I'll pay another red rating. And that's my turn. Okay, Cybersaur is going to take this action, take 2 tourist actions. Okay, and this time, he just got access to a bunch of new tourists. So red is his first choice, but that's not going to happen. Then green is next. And then green is still top choice, but purple is next because green isn't available. And then he'll take a clear jungle action. So he's just going to take the one closest to home. And there's no tie for more than one that's closest to home. And then on my last turn, I want to fill up my train, maximize that unload at the end of the round. So I'm going to safari and then capture. I'll safari, seeing 1 volcano and 1 blue dinosaur, pumping this rating up by 2, and then I'm going to capture 2 dinosaurs. I'll capture this Titanosaur and this guy. Okay, that's the end of the round. I'll unload my train, and then we return all the executives. We're moving into the last round. So these dinosaurs on my player board are all worth half points because they're kind of like in the back room, just not visible to the tourists, so they're not worth full points. It's like that scene in Jurassic World where Vincent D'Onofrio's in the back shocking the dinosaurs. So obviously those ones aren't going to be worth as much as the ones that are out on display happy in their little enclosures. And yes, as far as we know, they are happy in their enclosures. So my point is that I need to draw some new cards to try to play these dinosaurs. It's the last round. I can probably get a lot of points by getting some cards that require dinosaurs. With the exception of these red and green ones that are barely worth anything. Okay. So I'm going first this round. That's very good. So I get the first pick. Well, I need to build some rails because I don't even have any dinosaurs adjacent to me anymore. But I also want to play those cards. Okay. Well, oh, and it's not an option to draw cards and build rails. That's perfect. So well, I'll draw 4 cards. I'll just go for broke right now. So I want this blue one so I can play one of these blue dinosaurs. And then I'm going to use one of my tourists to go to the focus group. And that allows me to wipe one of these rows and refill it. So the tourist in the focus group is telling my resort what sort of attractions they want to see later on, so I can build ones that will be popular. I'm going to take this one that can take any dinosaur. And then I'll take this one that can take a T-Rex, since I have a T-Rex. It also gives me train cars, which is going to be awesome. And then I'll take this one, because I think I have everything that I need to build all 4 of these cards. And then it's Cybersaur's turn. All right. Cybersaur is going to do a double action. That's not good. Okay, so Cybersaur is going to take 2 dinosaurs. First off, it'll take the only dinosaur it can take. And then since it can't take another dinosaur, it's going to go down and take a clear jungle action. And it'll take one from this row, because that's closest to the home hex row. And it'll take the leftmost one that it's adjacent to because of the left arrow here. So that's the second capture dinosaur action. And then it'll lay 4 rails. It's almost laid all of its rails, so it's going a little overboard if you ask me. Okay, so he's going to go all the way back here to get to a place where he can actually be adjacent to something new. 1, 2, 3, and build out to the left right here to get as close as possible to adjacency with something new. And then on my turn, I'm going to, well, I want to play these cards. So I'll play cards and lay rails. because I need to get closer to some dinosaurs to keep scoring and whatnot. So I'll play this and this and this one. Oh, that's going to be perfect because it lets me lay more rails. So then I'll play one of these guys here. And I want to get this guy out here because he's worth more points. And then when I lay rails, I'm going to be able to lay +2. So I lay 4 rails for this action. That is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put this one out here. I'll try to take that Titanosaur. And I'll go out here. Okay, and then on Cybersaur's next turn, it'll just draw a new card since that spot's taken. And then it'll go right here. It would go first next round, but that doesn't matter now since it's the last round. It's going to take 2 cards right here. Take the next one off the top. And then he's going to take 2 safaris. Safari number 1. Well, I guess they're both going to be blue because he doesn't have access to any other tourist types. That will change the preferences. And then on my next turn, man, I really want to... Well, I want to capture some more dinosaurs, but I also want to increase their ratings. Increasing Red's rating would be good for me. So, yeah, I'll do both. I'll I'll take a red tourist on Safari. It'll only increase its rating by 1, but that'll give me a few points. And then I will capture 2 dinosaurs. I'll capture a purple one. Well, I'll do a purple one and a blue one. And then after I take the capture dinosaur action, I can pay 1 rating to unload my train. Well, you know what? I guess I'm going to pay that T-Rex rating. Okay. And that is my turn. So, that spot's taken. Next action, go up here. I'm going to ignore this red multiplier since I'm not playing expert mode. So that's just going to be 1 action. And he's just going to connect to the last 2 occupied hexes that he's not connected to. And then take a jungle token, and it's going to be this one that's closest to the home hexes. And then on my turn, well, I could play this card that would be worth a few more points. I could try to... Well, there's a red and a green tourist left. But I'm only going to get, 1 rating for either of those. And I can't... Well, I could pay ratings to... I could pay 2 ratings to take an occupied space, but that'll lose me points. And at this point in the game, I don't think I need to do that. This is tough. I don't really have... Well, I guess I'll capture a dinosaur and play this card. So I'll play this card. It's actually pretty good because it gives me 3 train cars that are going to be worth a few points. That's actually worth 9 points. I didn't realize I was scoring so many train cars. So that's actually a pretty good play. And then I'm also going to capture... I wish I could capture 2... No, I am adjacent to 2, so I will take them both. All right. And then on Cybersaur's turn, Cybersaur will go here, take one last lay rails action, getting all of his rails out on the board. At this point, it doesn't even matter where they go because he's adjacent to everything. But they're going to be worth some points. And then take 2 safari actions. So he's going to take these 2 safaris. And that is the end of the game. So we'll unload our trains, and then we'll count up the score. So Cybersaur is going to have a nice big stack of scoring cards. Okay. So we will just go down this score pad here. And first, score the Titanosaurs. Cybersaur is going to score 1 Titanosaur times 15 points. I'll score 3 times 12, so 36 points, plus 12 more points since these are cut in half. So I'm going to score 48. For blue dinosaurs, Cybersaur gets nothing. I'll get 3 times 15 is 45, plus 1 cut in half rounded down, so that's going to be 52. T-Rex, it's going to score 20. That's 1 times 20 for Cybersaur, and I'm going to score 2 times 3. That's 6, plus 1, 7 points for me. Triceratops is going to score 30 points. That's 1 times 30 for Cybersaur, and I'm going to score 1 point for my half of 3 points rounded down for this Triceratops. And then for jungle tokens, Cybersaur is going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3. That's going to be 15 points. And I'm going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 3, 4. I'm going to score 24 points. For tourists, Cybersaur will score 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 42 points. And I'm going to get nothing. I have no scoring for tourists. And then for adjacent cabins and volcanoes, that is every cabin and volcano that your train is adjacent to out here, Cybersaur is going to score 6 points for each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 6 is 30 points. And I'm going to score 2, 4 times 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 times 3, 12 points. And then for rails, Cybersaur will score 2 points per rail. Each one of these is half. So, and laid all 30 of his rails. So 60 points. Ugh, it's bad for me. I don't think this went very well for me. And then I will score 0 points for rails. Okay. And then for train cars, you just count up all the cards that would have given Cybersaur a train card, and that's how many train cars you count. So Cybersaur got 3 train cars, multiplied by 2 points, so that's 6 points. And I got 1, 2, 3 train cars times 6. So I'm scoring 18. And the final score is going to be 35, 65, 80, 122, 152, 212, 218. And my final score is going to be 107, 108, 132, 144, 162. So I lost by quite a bit, actually. But that is the solo mode for Cretaceous Rails. Next time I think I'm going to play on a normal mode. There were a few too many double actions there for the Cybersaur to really rack up the points. And maybe I'm not as good at this game as I thought I was. But fortunately, there are 4 difficulty levels, so you can adjust the difficulty as you see fit. Thank you for watching, and thank you for backing Cretaceous Rails on Kickstarter. Couldn't do it without you.